Hello peeps, Twisted Foot here, bringing you another Boundless video. In this video we are going to continue our progression on my new alt. So hopefully this video we get into stone tools and stone weapons. So in our last episode we got started off. We found this cool little location here. We have a neighbor that was there when we first settled in. Watching back my last video, there was a couple things that I wanted to kind of touch base on kind of quickly before we get started, and that is when you're crafting stuff, when you're first starting out. Like I was crafting too, and there is options for bulk craft and mass craft, which saves you resources. So like to craft 2 metamorphic rock you need, or 2 metamorphic stones you need 1 metamorphic rock, and to craft 10 you only need 4 rock. So you start saving some of your resources when you can get into the bulk craft and the mass craft. But those are skills that are locked behind skill points. So I have to progress through all of these things to get down to bulk craft down here for bulk craft and mass craft to be able to utilize those. Another thing I wanted to try out and test out is I wanted to test foliage in the beacon to see how much that adds versus the other, the timber and the trunks. So let's just grab our leaves out and let's grab one of them out, and then we will put one in here. We're at 2 weeks, 2 days, 7 hours. So let's add this one foliage and see what we get. Oh, we don't even get a full day out of it. We only got hours. Okay, so we're at 19 hours. So we get 8 hours out of a leaf. Get 8 hours out of a leaf, a day out of wood trunk, and 2 days out of timber. So definitely timber is the best fuel source for your beacons. The other thing I wanted to look at was I wanted to look at my plots and the number of plots that I have, because my beacon control was saying that I had 2 plots when I only had 1 plot down, and I was kind of curious as to why that was, but I don't know, I guess that seems to be fine. So let's continue. So now we've completed our first steps, so now we get to decide basically if we're explorer, builder, hunter, trader, or fighter. Your journey to rebuild and colonize the universe has begun. View your inventory, track progress, and set and view objectives in the citizen menu at any time. Well, there was an update recently that dropped, and there's no more citizen tab. They renamed it back to characters. So but it's not even in the citizen menu. It's in the main menu. So they got to fix a little bit of wording in some of the objective stuff. So we need to go into our journal, and we have this one is active, which basically is just telling us our journey begins. So many have tried and failed to secure our future, yet you have successfully completed your first steps into the known worlds. The Grand Clan acknowledge your accomplishments and bestow upon you the ability to continue your journey as you wish. Along the way you may choose tasks to complete in exchange for rewards. So we need to choose and activate and complete our first objective. So we'll click on this. Actually, no, we'll click on objectives tabs. And these 3 choices we have. So we can improve our base, and just just so you're aware that we can only track three objectives at a time. So let's do time to collect resources. So now we got that one being tracked, and let's do improved tool set. So now it's telling us we need to gather starberries, which come from leaves when you chop leaves, and we need to start collecting some rocks. So I'm going to smack away at some rocks here for a little bit, and I'll be back when I have collected the 25. Okay, we are working on getting our last one. So we got our 25 rocks. Now we need to get some starberries by chopping up some foliage here. Now starberries aren't a guaranteed drop out of foliage, so we'll have to chop more than 10 foliage to get our 10 starberries. Alright, so we got our 10th starberry. So now we have completed that task, or that objective. So now we need to go back into our menu, and we need to click on this and then collect the reward. So we'll collect our reward, which will be 510 XP and 60 coin. And then we completed that one too. So now we just are working on getting some stone tools and stuff. But we also have some other objectives available to us. So we want to warp into our home beacon. It's good to know, there's a little bit of typo errors in here too. It's good to know that wherever you are, your beacon is not far away. Warp conduits are the key to returning to your beacon in a blink of an eye. Urgently need to use a crafting machine. Need to make use of beacon storage. Feeling a little homesick. Whatever the reason, to get back to base quickly, simply handcraft and place warp conduits. Then set a warp location to your chosen beacon. So we need to place and connect warp conduits, then travel to our beacon. And then this one is improve your beacon base. So basically a furnished beacon is a happy beacon. Take the time to make some home improvements by adding more plots, crafting walls, and storing items in your beacon area. Improving the quality of your base increases its prestige. The higher the prestige, the more likely your base is to become a settlement for other citizens. So we will track that one, and we will track this one. And first thing we're going to do is go back over to our base, and we're going to put this, we're going to craft. Let's grab our timber out. We have a bit of rock, which is good, and we already have some stone made. What do we need to make conduits? We need any rock. So we need to take some of our rock out of here. Let's make our any rock. Oh, I was grabbing the stones out. My bad. So we can make... Alright, so now we should have our 2 warp conduits that we need. Let's put the rest of these back in there. Let's craft some sticks. And get those in there, and then we should be able to craft some stone. So we need a stone axe, a stone hammer, a stone shovel. And it doesn't say we need one, but I want to craft a stone sling bow just because we're level 5 now. So we're only 1 level away from being level 6, which at that point critters will become hostile to us. So I want to have a sling bow to be able to defend ourselves. So I want to go into here and make sure that this is added to my beacons list. And you can check your beacons list by going into the main menu, go to places, and then click on the beacons tab. So my beacon is set here. So let's just go for a little stroll over this way. Let's equip these warp conduits. Hopefully this works first try so we don't have to craft anymore. So we'll place those two down. So that completed the first step of that. So now we need to interact with this. Set the warp's location to a beacon. So we'll click on the beacons tab, and then we'll click on our beacon, which then will open a warp to here. So that completed the second step. Now the warp is opening, so now we need to bust the break the blocks open, and then we just need to step on through. So that completed that objective. So now we go into our journal again, and we will collect the reward for that one. So our next one is Sanctum Travel, which we'll need to. So as we wander around the world on your quest for adventure, you may find yourself trapped in a cave or lost in vast wilderness. In these circumstances, the return to Sanctum ability in the options menu can mean the difference between life and death. From the Sanctum, you can interact with the already open warp and set it to a random nearby position, or you can interact with the closed warp and set it to a location from your world's menu. So we need to select return to Sanctum in the options menu and then open the closed warp in the Sanctum to a location. And we only have basically one location, which is our home. So let's see if all of our new tools are ready for us. So now we have done our improved tool set. Alright, so we have a lot more options now. Building a crafting furnace. So let's do that one. Basically, we just need to acquire a fire pit for our furnace base. I didn't track this one. We'll track that one. That'll be an easy one to do really quick. This one is going to be a little bit harder to do, the merchant's trade, because we need to complete a trade with another player. So we'll have to try to find another player. Now, some of these objectives passively track in the background. So like this requires us to acquire a sling bow, and then we got to defeat creatures. Well, we've already acquired the sling bow, so you can see that that option is already basically highlighted in green, telling us that we've completed that step. So now we just need to defeat some creatures and harvest them. So first let's return to Sanctum. We'll just do this quick. Get this other objective out of the way really quick. We'll just open the warp back to our beacon again. So we'll press E to interact with this. We'll just select our home, and we'll step through, and that objective should be complete too. And it is. So it's another 510 XP and 60 coin. And now we can. So now we've found a great spot. So now we have this objective: bookmarking and sharing locations. We found a great spot for a base or an area full of rare resources, somewhere you want to return to later without searching. Save useful locations in a world's menu. Locations tab to easily navigate to an area in the future. Feeling generous, location markers can be crafted and sold or gifted to another player, allowing them to track or travel to that location. To craft a marker, select your saved location in the world's menu locations tab and choose craft a location token. So we need to save our current location and craft a location marker. So that's pretty simple. We just go to places. This is our current location, so we'll highlight that, save this location, and then we'll just put I'm just gonna label it Berlin home. Confirm. So now our saved locations are down here where we have Berlin home. So you click on that, and then down in the options down below here, we have the option to craft location marker. So we'll click that, and then that completes that objective. And then now we have setting a waypoint on a compass. So returning to a saved location is easy when you have a waypoint to navigate by. To set a waypoint, choose a saved location in a world's menu location tab, then select waypoint. You can now track your waypoint on the compass, making it easier to travel back to interesting land, unusual creatures, and much needed resources at any time. So now we need to set a waypoint and travel to it. I actually am not going to do that one yet, just because we only have one location and I'm already at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the hunting creatures one. So we need to go defeat the 10 creatures and harvest them. So what I'm going to do is equip my sling bow. We need to dump, and we are level 6 now, so things are going to be hostile to us anyway. I am going to dump some of this stuff off into I'm going to dump the hammer, it's almost dead anyway, and the wood axe, just to free up that space. I'll use the wood, maybe not, maybe. Can I smart stack them? Okay, I can. Alright, so we will do that. We got our hammer there. We got our sling bow. Alright, so what I want to do now is I'm just going to kind of adventure maybe up to the top of that hill and just see what's over that way, and hopefully come across a couple critters along the way so I can kill some of these. Okay, there's a couple wild stock up here. Hopefully they're, actually it's a spitter. So basically you can equip your weapon in either hand. Whoa. Holy, he's a little speedy bugger. I do have some more points that we can spend. Let's go into our character. We have 10 points. Last time I unlocked these couple skills right at the end of the video. So just quickly, to sprint, it's holding down the shift button, so you run a little bit faster. So now we can do creep. I don't want to do creep necessarily. I never actually honestly use creep very often. I mean, it's nice in building and stuff, but right now creep is kind of broken as far as I know still for hunting. You can usually use creep to creep up on roadrunners, but right now that's a little broken, so it's, holy cow, those guys are quick. Wow. Alright. So, one thing you'll notice, like when I'm shooting these guys, I don't have no idea like how much health they have left. That is an option in one of the skills. And it's a skill that I'll unlock as soon as I finish this guy off. So in the skills here, in the core skills, we have this one, Scanner, which reveals more information about objectives, resources, and creatures in the world when you are looking at them. So we'll unlock that one. And then now we've moved into the point where we can start unlocking stuff in here. And the first thing I want to unlock or work towards is going to be my power bonus, because this increases power by 10, which increases damage dealt to creatures and blocks. So we're going to unlock this one too, and that'll help us a little bit more with hunting these creatures. And now the next time we fight a creature, we should be able to see like the creature's health and be able to have a better idea of how much health is left on them. So let's shoot this guy. So now you can see how I can see his health level now. Now I'm starting to take a little bit of damage, so I'm going to eat this starberry. So I'm going to equip it. And then you hold down that mouse button. It takes a little bit for you to eat, so you got to hold it down a little while. So that replenished 100 health for me. So we have another wild stock over here. Alright, I'm going to continue hunting these wild stocks, and I'll check back in when I am done killing all of them. Alright, so we're coming up to our last one that we're going to kill here. Now I've already harvested 10 animals, so I'm guessing I must have came across a dead animal at one point. And I'm getting a little bit low on my health again, so I'm going to eat another couple starberries and get my health back up. Alright, so our health is back all the way up. We completed that objective, so we'll collect our reward from that. So now we can do tracking the objective for this one. So now we've kind of ventured out a little bit further away from our home. We still can see it on our compass there with the orange little house, but let's just say we couldn't see that. We can go into places, and then we can select on Berlin Home, and we can click the option to set waypoint. So now we have set our waypoint. Now we just need to walk towards our waypoint, which is indicated by the orange arrow pointing down. That shows us the direction we want to go for our waypoint. So we're not going to have to get all the way there because it's going by block distance, so we just completed that. So next we have warping to your current world. So by utilizing the instant travel of a warp, you can cut down your travel time by using a saved location from the world's menu as the warp's destination. If you need warp conduits, you can easily craft them from a few basic materials in the handcraft menu. So again, it says we need to save a location on our current world. and place down a couple conduits. And I don't think I have the resources to do that. But I can grab a couple rock here really quick. Let's see for sure what we need. I think it's 5 per. Yep, so we need 4 more rock and 3 more trunk. There's some coal here. Let's grab this soft coal while we're here. This will be nice to have for fueling our furnace once we get that crafted. Okay, so I've collected up enough resources now, so now I can craft our warp conduits. So we need to craft 2 of those. I was able to find 25 soft coal down there, following that coal vein. So now we have our 2 conduits, 2 warp conduits again. We need to... Okay, I must not have activated that objective. So let's make sure we activate it just so we know what we're doing. We need to save a location on our current world. Now, some of these objectives kind of, I think, can be done, need to be redone or basically touched up just a little bit, because I've already saved a location and it was on this planet. And now I need to save another one just to complete this quest. This objective. So we'll click again on our current location, save this location, and I'm just going to call it objective locale. And now it says warp conduits placed and connected. So we might not actually have to warp to it, because now that quest is complete. Or is it? Now it says warping. Oh, now we need to open the warp. Open warp to current world. So all of the coin that we're making from completed our objectives, we have to spend to be able to open these warps up, because this costs us 100 coin again. That's kind of freaky. I wonder, can you actually see yourself? That would be awesome if you... Like, these are real time. So, you would think that you would be able to see myself in there. And, oh, you can see my shadow. I've never warped this close to an actual location, but you can see my shadow. I'm shocked you can't see your person, but that's pretty neat. Oh, check that out. We can go... just non-stop warping. Alright. That was kind of cool. So now we can complete this one. And now we have warp to a friend. I guess we can activate that one. I don't have no friends. So let's head back to our base. What do we need? We'll have to see what we need for... Oh, we got some more skill points. Let's spend those right away. We're gonna get... I think I'm gonna get maybe one or two more power bonus, and then I'm gonna grab an agility, so that'll increase my run speed. But for now, or do I want to do run speed now? I have 5 skills unlocked. So this will be the 6th one. So after this one, I'll be able to start unlocking some item crafting skills. So maybe I want to do agility now. Yeah, we'll just do agility now. Now we'll actually be able to run a little bit faster. But I will, I'll be right back when we get back to the base. Alright, we are back at base. And let me see. How are our tools looking? I think I want to go ahead and get... Okay, we need more. I should have did this before we took off out on our adventure. I could have had some stones crafting. I don't want the walls. We'll craft quite a few stones just to get... So that'll take us a little bit. I think this will be a good spot to actually end this episode. I'm going to let those finish crafting, and then in our next episode we'll actually start figuring out some type of house layout. We have... Actually, let's see if we can do the fire pit quick. I'm not sure what's needed for the fire pit. We should be able to do the stone one. It's just any stones. I want to check something. Can I craft another... What do we need for another... Just 10... Any timber. I'm going to craft another crafting table just so we're not waiting for one to finish. Now, one of the things, just a quick brief talk about the latest update that was released. They made it so I'd have to look at the release notes, but basically only like soil blocks will remove grass blocks. So if you look underneath my original crafting table, when I placed this crafting table down, it removed the grass from the top of the soil block below it. You look at the new one and the grass is down below it. It doesn't remove the grass anymore. Same with like the beacon or the campfire, and it'll be the same with the beacon. If you pick the beacon up, the grass won't be there. But now the only thing that does remove the grass is a soil block, I believe. So alright, so we can let's grab some stones, and that'll allow us to do our fire pit. And what I'm going to do is actually use the second one as a storage thing. So now we have to place our stone fire pit down. Looks as good a spot as any for right now. All of this stuff is going to have to get moved. And now we need to finish our furnace with the part 2 one, which there's no smoke without fire. Turn your fire pit into a furnace by placing a crucible on top. Like all fire sources, a furnace requires a common fuel source, such as coal, to generate heat. Once filled, new recipe options will be available in the furnace. Acquire a crucible and complete your furnace. So what do we need for the crucible now? Stone crucible. Just more stones again. Let's grab our stones quick. Stone crucible, craft. Put our stones back in here. Let's get sure, another axe and another hammer. Now, when I first started, this was one of the more confusing, because there wasn't anything that told us what to do. So when you got to the point where you needed to make a fire and a crucible, it didn't tell you that you needed to craft both of these pieces and put them together. So it's nice that the objectives are telling you that now. And I don't have that one up track, so now it's tracked. So I acquired the crucible. Now you need to place a crucible on the fire pit. So what you do is you just place it on top of your fire pit, and that completes your stone furnace. And then you just need to add fuel to it. So I'm just going to throw the coal in there, and now that objective is complete too. And now we're building with the workbench. So boost your crafting prowess with a workbench, giving you the opportunity to craft with stronger, more durable materials. The workbench is crafted using ancient tech fragments. Whilst common, these fragments are mainly found deep in mountainous areas and can be tricky to obtain. Remember, however, that all items can be traded with other players. So acquire and connect all 4 workbench pieces. So let's track that objective, and we made it up to level 7, and we are going to end this episode here this time. So when we come back next episode, we will work on improving our beacon base. We'll start framing up some type of structure here, placing down some blocks. We will likely try to go mining, maybe up into that hill over there, see one of those 2 hills, see if we can't find some tech fragments so we can get our workbench going. And who knows, maybe we'll finally run into some other players and be able to complete the friend objective. So once again, thanks everybody for watching. Remember to hit the like button if you liked what you saw, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. It's been fun going back to the beginning, starting a new player and going through these quests, and hopefully it helps some new players out if they come across these videos. So talk to you later. Bye now.